Hey Red Digital, my name's Jaden Romeo, and today we watch The Night Shift. We'll be right back after this. I didn't know what I was gonna say. All right, guys. So today we have some special guests. These are the cast and crew from The Night Shift. We'll start with Austin.
What up? I'm Austin Rice. I played Viktor Gorbachev in The Night Shift, and glad to be here.
I'm Michael. I played Dima Bulgakov in The Night Shift as well.
I'm Isaac Robertson. I am the director and producer of The Night Shift.
I'm Isaiah Townley. I worked on audio for The Night Shift, and I'm like extra 23 in like one scene. So
Let's go.
All right. So Isaac, where did this storyline come from? What made you want to write this story and take such a dark turn at the end?
Yeah, so a lot of people don't know, these two do, but this story actually started with a very lighter plot. It was about these guys, the still bad guys, and they were going at this hotel to steal Rembrandt paintings. But you know, I wanted to change the direction of it. I wanted to make it a little bit darker because I'm a guy who, when I watch movies, I like to heighten the stakes, you know, and I like to feel for the protagonist. So I was like, you know, how can we raise the stakes? How can we make this a little bit bigger, a little bit darker? So then we move into this murder for hire operation, which is kind of dark, you know, especially if, you know, these grown men are going after kids. But I think it works, and you know, that's, you know, the biggest thing was the hiding it, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I get you. I'm also curious to know because we went through a lot of different paths with writing and filming. How many times do you think we actually like rewrote this short film?
More times than I can count.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's been so much. I mean, you know, we changed things due to continuity, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and then some things just work better this way, you know, and sometimes we shoot things and it's not the best it could be. So it was a work in progress from September through
sure.
March. But you know, I'm proud of the finished product for sure.
Absolutely. We'll go to Austin. What was your favorite scene to shoot? You shot quite a few.
I shot a lot of scenes. Some of them, like you said, we rewrote, so I didn't get to show them. But I'd say probably my favorite scene actually in the movie was when I jumped over a couch. So we did that a bunch. And it was like a fight scene right afterwards, so we filmed it all in like one night.
Yeah.
But that was probably the most fun scene to film.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
For sure. How about you, Michael?
I would say the scene where I get ganged up on by the security guard.
They beat you.
Oh,
They
yeah,
get
it was
you
dope.
out.
Yeah, I was sore for like a week after, and I had a few bruises, but I think it was worth it. Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
I bet. Zaya?
oh man, I mean, favorite like scene that's in the movie or like behind the scenes?
You could say both. Yeah.
Behind the scenes, I really enjoyed watching all the choreography for all the fight scenes
Yeah.
because you don't really appreciate them until you've seen them like go through all the process for like an hour, sometimes more,
sure.
and you see them working at it, improving, and so when you finally get that shot at the end, you're like,
Yeah.
they nailed
Hard
it.
work
You know,
pays
it's like
off,
it's a lot
yeah.
of like appreciation once you finally nail it. So
For sure.
For sure.
A lot of ripped shirts on my plate.
Yeah, you were
like
rough.
3
You were
different
rough.
shirts.
You
Really
ripped 3 shirts?
Yeah, I ripped 2 shirts and then the patch off the security guard shirt.
That's why in the film, you know, when he snatches off the patch, it was already gone. So we
Oh,
put it
you
out there
had
to
to
make
do
it
that.
seem like he did it in the movie. But yeah,
See,
he did
movie
that.
magic.
Movie magic. And it works. It works. You know. So.
Absolutely. What was your favorite scene to shoot?
My favorite scene to shoot was I kind of piggyback on him, the fight scenes, but in particular I say the last scene with Pav and the guards in the lounge.
That was fire. Yeah.
Pav, you know, Samir is the character. He just goes nuts. You know, he snaps a guy's neck and then he slits a guy's throat and then he goes after the girls, and then you know, but yeah, that whole sequence, that whole sequence with starting with Victor and Ilusha, and then going back to the security guard fight in the lounge, and then just going back and forth. That whole sequence was my favorite, for sure. And it was like the most intense, I'd say.
Tell us the story about Pav not actually supposed to be in the movie at all?
I'm actually glad you brought that up. That's really big, yeah. So in the original script, it was only 4 bad guys. You had Victor, Dima, Omar, and Luke. What's their names? Pedro and
He
Boris.
doesn't even know.
Yeah.
He wrote it.
So there was one day we were on set. We were shooting a hotel lobby scene that got cut. Of course, we got a lot that got cut. But and Paul was an extra, and he was a hotel front desk worker, which does not fit him. Looking back at it now. But he was, after we got done shooting, he was like, "Hey man, I was thinking more of a main role." I'm like, "Well, what are you thinking?" He was like, "I want to play like a bad guy." And I was like, "What are you thinking?" He was like, "I want to be a stabber. I want to be the stabber guy.
I want to be a stabber.
Yeah, I want to.
stabber.
Yeah. He was like, I don't want to do the guns. I want to be a stabber, and I want to have like some quality screen time. So I was like, we can write that in there, and then we just, one day we added him in the scene, and it just worked from there on. But I think adding him was a really great addition to the film, and it definitely makes that crew a lot more scarier.
For sure.
So yeah.
I think my favorite scene, which I think it got rewrote, it was the one where Omar, well, it's actually from this scene right there, but the version that got cut, he rips his shirt off and beats him to the ground.
Yeah.
That had to be rewritten.
Doesn't he throw a chair at?
Yeah, that fight scene with Elijah and Pedro. Yeah, we shot that twice. The first one, it was we just thought it could be better, but yeah, that's that part.
Oh my God, it was so.
He rips, yeah, and he's ripped too. He's ripped, so
he's huge.
Yeah, he took his top off, and then you saw his tattoo and saw his big arms, and then it was great. But yeah, it'll be in the deleted scenes reel. So there you go.
When do you think that's gonna come out? A little director's cut and a blooper reel, or do you think we'll put it together?
Director's cut will be later this year. That's a long,
I don't want to do that yet.
All that's probably gonna be
for
for sure hour like a feature type movie. Like so much got cut, but as far as
Good to
blooper reel
know.
and deleted scenes, probably sometime in May. Just when I get some free time, it's just so much with school and all that stuff. But but you'll see all those deleted scenes in that clip. So
we pulled lots and lots of all-nighters and very late nights to get this movie out.
Make sure you throw the balcony scene in there.
One night, sorry to cut you off, but one night we filmed from 4 a.m.
Oh my God.
In my defense, it was daylight savings, whatever. So it
so it was only 3 a.m.
Yeah,
really.
it went to 2 to 4, and I'm like, oh wow, and then so yeah.
So working on this short film, did that make you guys want to continue to do movies in the future, or do you think actually this is not for me?
That's a good question. I want to hear those two.
So me personally, I'm not even remotely tied to anything like this before this experience, but that being said, yes, I loved it. I loved getting some time on the camera. That could be egotistical of me. I don't care what you want to say, but
I'm the same. You're fine.
I mean, it was such a fun time, and I got to meet all of these cool people that have been involved in the process, and I've even talked to Isaac about future projects. I've already told him make sure he kind of gets me in there if it's shoehorning it in, get me in there. But I also kind of want to try and tackle the producer side, at least try and help with the behind the scenes too, maybe someday. So I don't know.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
It'd be cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would absolutely do acting again. The Night Shift was my first acting role, I think, and I've starred in a few other short little productions, but I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed being on camera and just getting to be myself.
Would you rather in the future be more of an acting or behind the scenes? I know you said you want to be a director and camera person,
I actually wouldn't mind acting.
Yeah.
I really like it.
Yeah,
it's a lot of fun.
I think I don't know if it shows well on camera or not. I feel like me and Michael probably had some pretty we were there the whole time from the start to the finish.
For sure.
And I feel like we probably had the best chemistry on set, at least for me personally.
Look at you guys right there.
Yeah.
Look, you can see I'm trying to hold back the smile on there. You know what I'm saying? It was hard, but I don't know. We had some fun time. The fight scene was hard, but everybody I know after they watched the movie, they were like, "How'd you let those little guys gang up on you?" I'm like, "Look, man,
Luca got you."
It's just.
Oh yeah.
They had the plot. We were talking about
plot armor.
That's what they had, man.
Plot armor.
But
we gotta satisfy.
Love that. Zaya, would you keep working on movies, or because you're not a DMP major either?
No, I'm not. But
Wait, what
I'm in anthropology. But
I had no clue.
yeah, in high school,
Sick.
I had a friend called Brian, and he worked on movies. and I got really into it. And he always needed actors, because of course. So I would help star in that, and I started to learn a little bit more of the behind the scenes stuff. So that's why I'm working here, trying to learn. I like to learn all the different aspects of it. I like acting, I like doing audio, I like filming stuff. So I just like to learn everything. That's why when I got to do audio for this, it was a good opportunity for me to practice, different skills.
Sorry about those all those long nights, man.
Yeah, I was gonna be up anyways, so.
Might as well. I think I would definitely keep doing movies and everything because this is my major. But I feel like the bonds that we all created, because we all got so close so quick because of all those long nights, that I think that really makes it worthwhile. And you never know who you're gonna be homies with until you're up till 4 a.m. or 7 a.m.
Once the delirium kicks in, everybody becomes friends.
A lot of rock stars and Red Bull. And it just brings a crew together.
Coffees. We got a lot of coffees.
A lot
yes.
of coffees.
Quite a few pizzas too.
True.
Good.
He took
Some
very
donuts
Snaps
Yeah.
for Isaac.
Good care of us, for
Did a
sure.
great job for us, that's for sure.
Okay, so then what's next for you, Isaac? You think you'll make a part 2 of the night shift? Do you think we'll just end this thing at all, or what?
So the unique thing about the night shift, I feel like the ending of the ending of this was, I feel like it felt like a closed, like an ending story. I feel like all the unanswered questions that you had got answered, and I feel like it was a good time to stick the plane. But I also feel like there are some questions that need to be answered as well, because I feel like there's some other things that the news scene did not address, like Anthony and Jairus' character. What happened? Well, of course Anthony got his neck snapped, and then Tevin got his thing, but they weren't reported dead.
Sucks for them.
Jairus when Samir goes after the girls, what happens to Artie? And then
I forget about him.
and then when Victor goes to prison. What's his mindset going to be? Where did Dima go? So I feel like there's some questions that needs to be answered,
Definitely
but I
left
also feel
open.
like it was a good story ending.
I would for sure watch a spin-off with Victor's character in prison. I think
Yeah.
that would be really good. Because I feel like he could be top dog in prison, or he could be.
I was thinking about a really cool fight scene with Victor. You know what I'm saying? Maybe he goes in there, people are like, who's this guy? You know what I'm saying? Show him.
Do not underestimate me.
You know what
Oh,
I'm
the accent.
but this first one got a lot of views. So
Yeah,
it's
16,000 views and
16,000.
counting
So,
for 2 weeks.
If people want it,
Comment down below.
yeah. If you want to part 2, let me know.
down below.
Comment down below.
I do graduate in a month, so but
2 weeks.
yeah.
Holy
Yeah.
smokes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like 3
We're
weeks
out.
now. Yeah.
But you just never know, you know what I'm saying? So
For sure.
But as far as me personally, I do plan on moving down to Atlanta, Georgia. But you just never know, and
Yeah.
there's a possibility
Yeah.
I actually move to Kansas City. I know that the film and media places are going up, so I don't know yet, honestly, but I have a few options, so we'll see.
Can we get a Tulsa King Victor-esque
Could you imagine? That'd be
I could
wild.
see that. I could mess with something like that. That'd be fun for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
Like I said, I want to keep doing this stuff. So.
Yeah, I got you.
Wow.
Right now.
We kind of touched on this, but what were your guys' favorite behind the scenes moments? Stories or random things that happened? My favorite and least favorite, which my friends know about this. I bet your guys' friends and close people know about this, but about 2 hours before we were gonna premiere this movie, a couple weeks ago, it was me, Isaac, and Jacob. We were almost done with the movie, and then something happened with the computers. We also had 6 hard drives plugged into one computer, which not our brightest move. But everything shut down, and we lost lots and lots of work. And we were like, okay, we have 2 hours to put the best thing that we can together. Didn't really work out, but
Hey, the
paid
second
off.
premiere was good.
Second premiere was
Second was
fire.
better.
That was so embarrassing.
We
though.
were in tears.
That was-
I was in tears.
Yeah,
I
I cried
felt-
after. Yeah.
Yeah, I felt
ahead.
terrible for especially the people who work behind the scenes,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
I can say it was hard work
Mhm.
for the late nights filming, but for every late night filming, I guarantee there was 4 of them late
Yeah.
nights editing. So I felt terrible for you guys and just how
Yeah.
much work you had put into it, and the people that were there too.
Yeah.
It just I
Yeah,
felt
that's the thing
terrible
that hurt
for
me
you
the
guys.
most. I had family, from St. Louis, traveling 3 hours, and then people's families and little siblings and grandpas and grandpas, So I was like, and then you know, I spent so much time marketing it too. You know what I'm saying? But there's a positive thing. You know, like it gave us more time to polish on some scenes.
Yeah.
And, you know, I feel like
Final.
it was a
final
blessing in
great.
disguise, honestly. So it sucked at the moment. I cried. I was heartbroken, but like. You
I
know,
was sobbing.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, but I mean,
I felt so bad.
it all works out, you know, and it was hard to hear that in the moment. I'm like, man,
Yeah.
you know, but looking back,
But
you know,
16,000 people liked
Yeah,
it.
and-
Hey, 16,000 views
16K.
later, man.
Yeah.
yeah, so you know, people were waiting for it. So
Beautiful. Funny
Uh,
stories or anything?
I do remember there's that one
yeah, we
bathroom
did say
scene with Dima,
honestly,
and it was me, Josh, and I think Callie.
I went here though. I was in
Oh
Jamaica one night.
yeah, we were all fitted in the bathroom.
Oh my
And we had
gosh.
we had
I was
crew in the
across
other
I was
bathroom.
across the. I was in
Yeah,
the other bathroom.
you were in the other
I was
bathroom.
in the other bathroom. Oh
And this
my
poor
gosh.
girl, she comes up, she's like rushing, because if you're going to the other bathrooms in the crossing, that means the one in your apartment is being occupied. So she runs up, slams open the door, and she sees three dudes in the bathroom
What?
and a
That's
camera.
wild.
And I'm standing at the sink. I've got blood all over my face
yeah.
and my hands.
We had that
Yeah.
recorded too. That'd be in the blooper, right?
Yeah.
I think we had that recorded, right? Because somebody came in there and was like, "Hold on, you know." Yeah.
And then she goes to the other bathroom.
So yeah, she went straight into the other bathroom. Like she I don't know what was going on because I was putting blood on my face for the scene I was finna film, or going to film. Sorry, and then. She literally barges in. She goes, "Oh my gosh!" And then she just runs out. And I
You
was like,
scarred that girl for life.
yeah, she was definitely going through it after that.
That's
But,
crazy. I feel bad, man.
I didn't even know that. That's crazy.
Yeah, it was something else. That's for sure.
Because so many people worked on this movie. Like you don't hear all of these stories and everything until you like come together and really
Yeah.
talk about it.
Yeah,
But
for sure. So many long nights. So many.
so
Favorite-
So much.
Favorite
you know.
behind the scenes thing, or like scene that we didn't use, would probably be the night that we were sipping apple juice as
On the balcony?
on the balcony.
Yeah.
I hope that
Yeah.
might
Oh.
get at least part of it put in. But and then like we were all up there just smoking cigars, trying to
Yeah.
get scenes of us puffing on a cigar.
Yeah.
Half of them.
Dude, I
half
love that
of
scene. I
us-
hate it got cut. It just,
There
you know.
was sorry.
You're good,
There
you're
was
good.
one
Go on.
shot in the background when the lightning was flashing.
Yo,
Oh my
That was really cool.
gosh.
Yeah, because that night it was like
Stormy.
yeah, it was
like a
storming.
storm was rolling
and
in.
then
Yeah.
and then Michael had a line, and Robbie had his line. It was it was lighting behind it. It looked so cool. But
Dang.
you'll see in the deleted scenes. But yeah, that was really cool, and the score for that was amazing too. So, but is what it is.
such a good movie, such good memories.
Yeah.
Let's wrap this up with final thoughts or final ratings. But I feel like we all have the same rating. But we'll start with you, Austin.
10 out of 10 for sure. Experience movie with what we got. 10 out of 10. I loved it. I would do it again. All of it over 3 times for sure.
Over 3 times.
Yeah, maybe a 4. Maybe a 4 just for fun. You know what I'm saying?
I'd have to give it a 10 out of 10 too. It was a lot of fun. It was my first experience working on a set. I met a lot of great people. I've made so many new friends, and I just want to keep acting.
Beautiful. Isaac?
Okay, my rating.
I'm last.
My rating is a 8 out of 10. Oh.
Huh?
8 out of 10 critical. 10
Yeah,
out of 10.
it's because I'm the director. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's at the end of the day, it's a student film too. So you know what I'm saying? There's it'll be different if we had like $1 million budget, but it's fine.
Yeah, I mean that, like you said, it's a student film, and you don't know how hard it is.
Yeah.
To,
Remember
like,
that comment?
Yeah, like even 10-minute films,
Yeah.
you don't know how much effort goes into that. And an hour-long feature kind of film
Yeah.
is insane, the amount of work. So I got to give it a 10 out of 10 just
I
from
changed it.
effort.
10 out of 10. It's
Yeah,
10.
there we go.
10 out of 10. I'm sorry. 10 out of 10.
I'm gonna
Hopefully that
go.
wasn't like-
I'm gonna go 9 because
9?
I'm very critical
Yeah.
of myself and of the work that I put out. And I think, like you said, if we had a
Yeah.
bunch of time and we didn't
Yeah.
have classes and everything, this could have been
Oh, this could have been
10 out of 10
so much
spotless
better, for
Hollywood
sure.
If we were
style.
just taking a
For sure.
week, just like
Yeah.
a week
Yeah.
straight of just filming, it would have been great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's at the end of the day, it's a student film, But I'm pretty happy with it, But
Yeah, for sure.
And all of y'all work so hard, so thank y'all so much.
You
Thank
worked
you,
harder,
Isaac.
bro.
Yeah, you work even harder.
No, y'all work harder. Without y'all, it's not possible. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I had the idea, but y'all went out there and actually did it. So thank y'all for sure.
I was
Well,
happy.
guys.
when
Oh.
you- Go ahead,
Sorry.
go ahead.
No, keep going.
I
keep
was
going.
happy when you were like, I have a role in mind for you, and then now
Yeah,
we're here.
yeah. I
so-
remember you talking at my birthday party. It was like, man, if you need me to act, I was like, I keep that in mind, bro. I was like, yeah.
I
let's do
got
it.
you, dog.
I
Yeah.
got you, dog. And then I had to get looking at your face. I had to. He's in there.
Looking at your face,
Just-
what?
just look at him.
Yeah, Isaac sent me a text and he was like, "Hey, I need actors for a movie. Can you help out?" I'm like, "Hell yeah, I can do
Yeah.
that."
But can you help out? AKA spend lots and lots of hours, lots of time, and you're
Yeah, I
gonna
did
be
not
one of the
include
main
that part.
guys.
I did not include that part. But yeah.
But speaking of time, we are out of time. Thank you guys for watching so much. Stay tuned for more stuff that we post here on Red Digital. We've got Cinema Sit Down. We've got Tales from the Tabletop. We've got Riot, which is so funny. And we've got other random stuff too. So we'll see y'all later. Bye, guys.
Peace.